Hey, this is Alexis with Alexis Reads, and welcome to my channel. Today is about my October wrap-ups. Definitely wanted to chat about some really good reads that I had, but October 2022 was a completely audio book month, y'all. Listen, I'm just trying to sit down to be able to read some books, and it just doesn't look like it's happening right now. So we are in the audiobook season. If you checked out my other video, I had tips about audiobooks. I'm a huge audiobook fan, lover. So check out that video if you need some tips, if you're new to audiobooks, or if you're not. I think there's some good tips on there as well. So definitely check that out. So I had 4 books that I read this month. The first one was Bow Before the Elf Queen, and I actually also had a video, a little ramble about that book. Book 2 just released as well, and so definitely check that out. I think I will put the link somewhere on the screen. But Bow Before the Elf Queen, that ramble, fantastic fantasy book. I did the audiobook of that, of course, as I mentioned in the beginning, and I thought it was absolutely great. The next book is A Court of Wings and Ruin, which is book 3 of A Court of Thorns and Roses series. I did the graphic audio of that book. Every single character has a cast. They have sound effects. I mean, the graphic audio is literally, it's so good. I know it takes so much to do that. So much production, so much work, so many characters. So they only have part 2 out of 3 of A Court of Wings and Ruins out. So they completely finished A Court of Thorns and Roses, A Court of Mist and Fury, my favorite one thus far, and then A Court of Wings and Ruin, which is, oh my goodness, jam-packed with action. So they have they completed the first 2, but this one, they're still waiting for part 3 to come out. So I purchased that book, hard copy of that. And then I also released kind of my mini book haul, which includes book 4 and 5 of the series that I'm going to physically read because there is an audiobook out, regular 1 narrator audiobook or 2 narrator audiobook. But going from the graphic audio just to 2 characters or 2 narrators, I can't do that. So A Court of Wings and Ruin, fantastic. I'm not talking about it much because it definitely gives spoilers, but it's just a continuation of our main characters that we have. Feyre, Rhysand, the whole cast is back. Cassian, Azriel, the sisters, Nesta, Elaine, I mean the whole crew, Lucian, Tamlin's ass is back. So we got a whole thing going on here. So this is jam-packed with action, great scenes. I think it was fantastic. People are big on Sarah J. Maas. This is my first time reading her book. I do have another book of her, which I think you can kind of see, Crescent City. I have not read that at all, but this is my first read of Sarah J. Maas and definitely loving her. The next books are by Katie Robert. The other book is Electric Idol, which is book 2 of the Dark Olympus series, and Wicked Beauty, which is book 3 of the Dark Olympus series. And I think there's going to be around 10 books out. Each of these are retelling of Greek gods, Greek mythology. And if you are a big one where you want to know the exact way how it was told before, this is not for you. This is a completely reimagining of this world, which I really, really like. All the books take place in a modern day. We're in a modern day time, right? Everything's modern. And in this world, you have normal things that go on, but the world that all of the kind of high up elites and the Greek, let's just say Greek gods right now, the Greek gods live in this different area. Instead of it being their traditional Greek gods, their titles, it's like a job title. So for example, we know Aphrodite is one of the gods, but instead of it being a god, again, it's a job title. So Aphrodite, you basically have to basically apply or get voted in into this role, and your new name becomes Aphrodite. So the person who plays Aphrodite was a normal person, and then they end up getting this title, and then that person is now known as Aphrodite. It's the same thing as Aries, which is book 3, but I'll talk about that later. Aries is a job title. And so that one, actually, let me pause on that. I'm gonna talk about that in a second. You have your 3 kind of legendary status Greek gods, which are like Zeus, Hades, and Poseidon. And those 3 are the only 3 that you are born into that title. And so basically, I'm assuming they're straight descendants. And so every time someone passed away, their son, or I think daughter too, whoever's born gets that job title. So Zeus, if Zeus dies, Zeus's eldest son or daughter becomes Zeus. That's the way it goes. Same things for Hades as well. Now, when it comes to these other roles, again, you have to then get that job title into the role. Like, I think that's what's amazing about this. So in Electric Idol, we are actually following the life of Psyche Demetrio, who is a daughter of like the Demetrio sisters. Book 1, we followed her sister, and that was Neon Gods. Briefly, I thought it was good. It was steamy. The audiobook person, I think, did better in book 2. There are 2 narrators. I think it was definitely lacking in some things when it came to world building and storytelling, but the steam was enough that it kind of made up for it. But you can tell in book 2, Electric Idol, we're getting deeper into like the world building. I thought the character development was a bit better. This is not something where I'm categorizing it as like a Sarah J. Maas with that type of world building at all. But it's enough where I can visualize it, that was good. The steam is great. I mean, this is an adult book. It's basically an erotica book, very much so. You definitely have these steamy things. I believe compared to book 1, Electric Idol is not as steamy as that, but I love the storyline so much better. So Psyche's in this big scandal into where she has to do a fake marriage. So it's definitely fake dating. I'm left with Aphrodite's son, Eros. And so Aphrodite is a person who's doing this scheme. Psyche then has to figure this thing out. Aphrodite's son, Eros, is basically her hitman. It's wild. Aphrodite's son, Eros, is her hitman, and truly known not just like a bad boy exterior, like he's a murderer. And so, but he has just kind of figuring out him, and that dynamic between his mom is really unhealthy. And so how they figured this whole thing out, it's that whole journey of fake dating, getting through the politics. I loved it because there's so much politics involved. I love it because it definitely has body positivity, as Psyche is described as a, bigger, plus-size, voluptuous woman. I love it, and absolutely gorgeous as well. When they describe, like, again, her personality, her looks, everything is just a beautiful person inside and out. You do get to see the hate that happens because it's a modern day world where they're in social media time. Comments are terrible, rude, all these things. And so you get to see kind of Eros have this side of him where he's defending her, like didn't realize his reaction to Psyche, and is definitely falling for her. And so it's just their journey of, just kind of like our lines getting ready to be blurred, or their loyalties getting ready to be crossed, what it comes with the politics. And I thought the writing was definitely more fluid this time. I thought the tension was good. I thought the chemistry was good. Everything about it I thought was actually really well. All right, book 4 I read this month, Wicked Beauty, again by Katie Roberts. Okay, Wicked Beauty, I can't tell which one I like the most. It's definitely between Electric Idol and Wicked Beauty compared to Neon Gods. But Wicked Beauty had a lot of action in it. At Wicked Beauty, we are following 3 main characters. So remember, we're in a modern day world. We have 3 main characters, which is Helena Troy, Zeus's daughter, right? We also have Achilles and Patroclus. The new role of Ares is opening. So Ares has passed away due to old age. And for this particular role, Ares, you must do this type of tournament style. So different types of, 3 stages, 3 tournaments that you have to go through in order to win this title. And so Helen wants to get the role of Ares. Remember the job title. She wants to be Ares. She's tired of being seen as Zeus's daughter, wants to have more to her name, and really wants to be able to have, make a name for herself. Ares' job title is basically over kind of like your soldiers, your troops, and a whole bunch of other stuff as well. And so it comes with responsibility, but you have to go through this tournament. Again, the great thing about this is a job title. So through this tournament, you're going to see both male identifying folks, female identifying folks. Anyone can go in this tournament to become Ares. And so during this tournament, she gets to meet Achilles and Patroclus. So in this story, Achilles and Patroclus, they are lovers, and they're in this relationship where they are not defined as boyfriend and boyfriend, but more of an open relationship. However, it's them two, they're the main ones. They love each other, but they are allowed to explore other people, and those lines never been blurred. Like if you explore someone else, it's never been like this really type of jealous thing until Helen comes in the circle. And so you find that all 3 of them are entering this tournament. Patroclus is entering it. He's like the kind of, I hate to say brains because they're all smart in their own way, but definitely strategic thinking, thinks about things 50 million times before he puts the action. And so he's in this tournament to help I keep on saying Hades, to help Achilles win. And people do that, you know, they become allies, but they're going into this tournament that way. So that's why Patroclus is in there. But Achilles truly wants this title. They all enter their name into it. But when Helen pops into the role, it definitely mixes up a few things. Now, before this happens, Helen's determined that she wants to be Ares. But before this happens, Zeus, and I'm trying not to say it without giving any away spoilers, so I'm just going to say Zeus. So Zeus wants to marry Helen off. And the winner of the tournament to become Ares will then get to marry Helen, male or female, no matter who wins. Whoever wins, they get to then marry Helen. So Helen is the prize. The whole thing is Helen never told Zeus that she was entering into this tournament. So it's really wild. So once she puts her name into the tournament, everything goes like bizarre, because it's like, how in the world Helen's going to be in the tournament when she's supposed to be the prize? Throughout this book, it is definitely that tension between Helen, Patroclus, and Achilles, because both Patroclus and Achilles are falling for Helen separately. Like, they're both feeling these really emotional feelings for Helen, and Helen like really starts to feel for them both too. And so you have this dynamic at the forefront, but then you also have, I'm trying to get Ares, like I want to win this tournament, especially when it comes to Achilles and Helen, like they both want this title. And so you definitely have Achilles and Helen having that true banter, like I hate you kind of enemies type of thing. And then you have Patroclus, who is the more soft and gentle one, who also falls for Helen. So they're both falling for Helen and Helen's falling for them. So you're definitely getting some great banter, some great steam. Oh, there goes my dog. Let me wait for my dog to settle, because my life revolves around these dogs. You good now? You settled? Okay. So I think the spice in this level is really well done. I love the banter, and I thought this book was so messy. Like, it is a messy book. So it definitely was getting me like over here like stressed, like this is gonna be a hot mess. And so I love that kind of feeling for it. And it was not clean. I don't think it was clean at all throughout the thing. But I think that's what made it really enjoyable. Where Electric Idol was definitely traditional, like Fake Marriage and Falling. This one is definitely messy and confusing feelings, and what do you do and X, Y, and Z. I enjoyed it. Those are my October reads. A little bit longer than what I wanted to, but there I go with my rambles. So those are the 4 I've read. I suggest all of them. Keep in mind, I believe, yeah, all 4 of the books I read are all adult books. Hopefully you all pick up one of these. Have you all read any of these at all? Let me know in the comment section below. And of course, I'll see you next time. I forgot what I was about to say at the end. What's my sign off? Like, comment, and subscribe, and come to me in my next rant and ramble. This is Alexis Reads. Until next time, y'all. Peace.